Jaleel White entered the world on November 27, 1976, in Culver City, California. He was born to Michael White, who worked as a dentist, and Gail White, who took care of the household and later became deeply involved in managing her son's budding career. As their only child, Jaleel was encouraged in his interests from a very young age, especially when a perceptive preschool teacher suggested he had a knack for acting. This early nudge led Jaleel to start working in entertainment at the tender age of 3, appearing in a series of commercials for well-known brands such as Jell-O, where he worked alongside Bill Cosby, Goodyear Tires, and Kellogg's. Education remained important to Jaleel and his family, even as his acting career took off. He attended John Marshall Fundamental High School and later South Pasadena High School. Despite his early start in show business, he did not neglect his academics, eventually earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in film and television production from UCLA in 2001. Jaleel's first appearance on television came in 1984 when he landed a guest spot on the long-running sitcom The Jeffersons. He played a young piano prodigy named Van, which was an early opportunity to showcase both his talent and his charm. Not long after, he joined the cast of Charlie and Company, a sitcom that aired from 1985 to 1986, and even auditioned for the role of Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Interestingly, that part was originally intended for a boy, but was later changed to a girl, so Jaleel missed out on the role. His big break, however, arrived in 1989, when he was cast as Steve Urkel on Family Matters. What was meant to be a one-off guest appearance quickly spiraled into something much larger. Audiences fell in love with Urkel's oddball personality, his signature high-pitched voice, and his unforgettable catchphrase, "Did I do that?" The character became so popular that the entire focus of the show shifted, and Jaleel became the main star. His portrayal of Urkel was so memorable that he won 3 NAACP Image Awards in 1994, 1995, and 1997, along with a Young Artist Award in 1991. However, the massive popularity of Urkel also brought its own set of challenges. Some of his co-stars, like Reginald VelJohnson, found it difficult when the spotlight shifted so heavily toward Urkel, and it sometimes created tension on set. Jaleel didn't just stick to Family Matters during his early years. He also starred in the Jaleel White special in 1992, a show where he played a version of himself. He made memorable guest appearances as Urkel on other popular shows like Full House and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, cementing his reputation as a beloved sitcom figure. Jaleel also became the first American to give voice to the iconic video game character Sonic the Hedgehog, working on several animated series throughout the 1990s, including Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Saddam, and Sonic Underground, where he even voiced Sonic's siblings. When Family Matters concluded in 1998, Jaleel moved forward, starring in the sitcom Grown Ups on UPN from 1999 to 2000. He also made appearances in a variety of films, such as Big Fat Liar in 2002, Dreamgirls in 2006, and The 1517 to Paris in 2018. His television career continued, with guest roles on shows like Boston Legal, House, Psych, Castle, Bones, and The Big Show, and he lent his voice to the hit series Regular Show. Jaleel even took on hosting duties for programs like Sci-Fi's Total Blackout in 2012 and CBS's Flipside in 2024. Beyond acting, Jaleel expanded his interests into business and writing. In 2021, he launched a cannabis product line, which included a strain called Purple Urkel, a playful nod to his most famous character. In November 2024, he published his memoir, Growing Up Urkel, where he opened up about his journey both in and out of the spotlight. He also competed on the 14th season of Dancing with the Stars in 2012, though his time on the show was overshadowed by personal struggles. One of the most significant challenges Jaleel faced in his career was the burden of being typecast. Although he became a sensation as Steve Urkel, this very success made it difficult for him to be seen as anything else. The show's popularity spanned 9 seasons, and while fans adored the nerdy, accident-prone Urkel, the entertainment industry began to associate Jaleel almost exclusively with that character. This made it tough for him to find roles that allowed him to show a different side of his talent. Casting directors often couldn't see beyond Urkel's suspenders and high-water pants, even though Jaleel himself was eager to branch out and take on more serious or nuanced roles. By the time he was 21, Jaleel was growing frustrated with being boxed in by the Urkel persona. In a 1999 interview, he expressed his frustration in strong terms, saying that if he ever played that character again, someone should take him out and put him out of his misery. The comment, though said in the heat of the moment, was picked up and sensationalized by the media, painting Jaleel as ungrateful for the role that had brought him fame. What was lost in the coverage was the real struggle he was facing, the fear that his greatest accomplishment might also be his biggest limitation. Years later, in a 2011 Vanity Fair interview, Jaleel revisited his earlier remarks, explaining that he was simply a young man grappling with the challenges of growing up in the public eye. He acknowledged that Urkel had given him financial stability and a platform to make a name for himself, but he was honest about how hard it was to break free from that image and prove himself as a versatile actor. He also recognized the cultural impact of Urkel, especially as a rare positive depiction of a black intellectual on TV, but he continued to hope for opportunities to show more of what he could do. After Family Matters, Jaleel's attempts to reinvent himself took many forms. He played more mature roles, like on Grown Ups, and appeared in films and guest spots that showcased his range. He even found new success as a voice actor, and his work as Sonic the Hedgehog was a chance to be part of a different kind of pop culture phenomenon, though even then, the shadow of Urkel was never far away. Over time, Jaleel found ways to diversify his career, from hosting TV shows to developing business ventures, all while continuing to deal with the lingering effects of typecasting. Jaleel's journey was also marked by personal loss, most notably the death of his close friend and family, Matters co-star Michelle Thomas. Michelle joined the show in 1993, playing Myra Monkhouse, Steve Urkel's girlfriend. Her character quickly became a fan favorite thanks to her chemistry with Jaleel and her genuine warmth. Off-screen, the two shared a deep friendship, supporting each other through the ups and downs of life as young actors. Tragedy struck when Michelle was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of stomach cancer in 1997. Despite her illness, she continued to act as long as she could, showing incredible strength and dedication. She passed away in December 1998 at just 30 years old, a loss that devastated Jaleel. He was only 22 at the time and already facing the pressures of fame and the uncertainty of life after Family Matters. Michelle's death left a lasting void in his life, and her absence was deeply felt on set. Jaleel has spoken openly about the pain of losing her, both in interviews and in his memoir, describing how difficult it was to process such a profound loss at such a young age. To honor her memory, Jaleel created a private memorial in his home, a space where he can reflect on her life and the bond they shared. He has said that this memorial is more than just a reminder of her passing. It is a celebration of who she was and what she meant to him. The experience of losing Michelle forced Jaleel to confront his own mortality and shaped his perspective on life and success. In Growing Up Urkel, he dedicates space to remembering Michelle, sharing stories of their time together, and expressing his gratitude for the friendship they had. Jaleel's personal life has also included its share of public challenges, particularly regarding his relationship with Bridget Hardy, the mother of his daughter Samaya. The two began dating in the mid-2000s, and their daughter was born in 2009. However, their relationship fell apart, leading to a painful custody battle. Matters became even more complicated when Hardy accused Jaleel of physical abuse, allegations that became public in 2010 and threatened to tarnish his carefully built image as a wholesome TV star. The legal fight for custody of Samaya was emotionally draining. Jaleel admitted under oath to one incident of physical altercation, a moment that was widely reported and added more stress to an already difficult situation. The custody battle took place while he was participating in Dancing with the Stars in 2012, and the emotional strain clearly affected his performance on the show. Jaleel struggled to keep up the cheerful persona expected of contestants, and his partnership with professional dancer Kim Johnson was at times marked by tension. Ultimately, he was eliminated in the 7th week, and the experience left him feeling overwhelmed and misunderstood. Despite these setbacks, Jaleel's commitment to his daughter never wavered. The resolution of the custody dispute allowed him to maintain a relationship with Samaya, who remains an important part of his life. In his memoir and recent interviews, He has talked about how the ordeal changed him, deepening his appreciation for fatherhood and teaching him important lessons about resilience. Jaleel White's life story is one of early success, lasting cultural influence, and the perseverance needed to overcome setbacks. He has navigated the complexities of fame, the pain of personal loss, and the challenges of finding new paths in a business that often resists change. Through it all, he has remained determined to grow, both as an actor and as a person, sharing his story openly in hopes that others can learn from his journey.